And we're live. Whoa, what a very, very, very tight day. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Um, First of all, I haven't had a chance to check any, um, what's it called? Any audio or anything. So let me know if audio is okay. We have to jump into spaces right away, so we can't get any introduction down. So nice. All right, cool. Looks like audio is working. Audio is working. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, how y'all doing? Good. Good stuff. Let's jump into the spaces because, sheesh, we're a bit late. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Ba, 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 ba. There we go. Listen live. Let's go. We just started the space. Start listening.
On
Okay, 1
and
minute. I have to get the audio. I have
Tesla
to get the audio. I have to get the
is
audio.
down again.
There we go.
It went up and it went down
Perfect.
like a roller coaster. Hi, I saw a few friends here. How's it going? So let's see. What I'm most excited
Good.
about this
Good
week
stuff.
is the news that Elon leaving Doge. Let's unpack about that. Oh, I see Pejjy. Ah, this week I'm gonna invite him to be speaker. Let's see.
Hello, hello. No,
Pejjy?
we should be fine. Even if you put me as a host, we should be okay because I'm using the laptop, not my phone.
All right. Send you an invite now.
Sure.
So, dude, excited week. Do you still buying? I saw you buy the other day 3 share. You still buying?
Hell yeah. Oh yeah. I keep. There's no. I mean, I've been saving to get. I'm trying to get a property this summer in Toronto. Maybe not. Maybe Texas. I don't know. I have to get some sort of property. But if Tesla only allows me, you know, because the thing is, I'm here in Toronto, and then when I'm back in Canada, I just Airbnb it, right? Nothing wrong with that, but it's expensive. I'm like, it's a better idea to just have your own place, Airbnb that, write it off as a tax, so we don't, write off as a tax, so I don't get taxed as much, and I can come more often back in Toronto rather than coming only once every year, and I have a place too. So I'm trying to get that organized. So, but if only Tesla stock allows me, if it continues to go down, I mean, it's just because here's the thing with this crash. I see a fast bounce to it. We're seeing a lot of countries coming up with these tariffs. A lot of countries are now coming and they're saying to Trump and the US, let's negotiate, let's talk about it. Let's see what we can do and stuff. And Trump, he is a negotiator. He makes deals. I mean, he wrote the book called Art of the Deal, right? So he did this purposely because of course, keeping the U.S. you know um, you know keep it making it stronger, of course, and keeping it away from as much debt as possible, as well as of the debt. So they have a balanced budget this year, maybe even having a surplus. Um, but uh, the tariff is more of a tactic thing. Most countries don't want this tariff because it's hypocritical that other countries have tariffs on the U.S., but then when the U.S. tariffs them back at 50% of what they're doing, right? Not even paring with them, just half, and they start to like cry about it. So you know, it's kind of unfair to the U.S. Um, but he's trying to make a deal. He's trying to say, look, let's be fair. Let's not take advantage, and let's make America the place where we can manufacture stuff. And I agree with that, right? There's a lot of things that are like scattered everywhere, like Apple and all these other guys. And yes, costs of them are going to go high, right? But um, look at what JD Vance said something very interesting. He said that, and I agree with this point. He said that us outsourcing really the countries that we outsource these products in not only are they willing, not only are they trying to surpass us now, but they're trying to have better technology than us. I don't want to. I mean, China would be one, right? They have crazy ambitions, taking Taiwan and then 2050 be on the same level of the U.S. Like, they're obviously trying to challenge the U.S. becoming the world power, right? So, that also, yes, outsourcing has its own benefits, but um, it comes at a cost of something like this, another country trying to become much stronger than you. And that is very costly if there's a battle between them or if there's any conflict between them. Um, but bringing manufacturing back to the US is, well, there's two parts to it, right? I think what Trump was trying to
Mm-hmm.
do,
Mm-hmm.
he's trying to say, okay, we'll bring these tariffs, we'll bring manufacturing back to the US. Things will be a bit more expensive, but we can eliminate taxes for it because now we have revenue. I don't know if that's a good trade-off. I really don't know. But all I know is that when we get past through this, like, um this uncertain time, I guess you could say, um I think we can.
Mm-hmm.
I think the U.S. will do very well in the future. I think the U.S. will do extremely well in the future. Um,
I agree.
but
I
that's my
agree.
thoughts on it. Yeah,
I so I'm not qualified to give any thought on this because I didn't study tariff. But if I just look at it and try to understand it from just a common sense, if America is the biggest market, we buy everything with a wealthy country that we have money to spend, and everybody want to sell their stuff to us. Like imagine if you are the biggest market and you hot, everybody want to come here. Everybody want to sell the stuff for you. And why are you not even ask for the rent? You know, it's if I own a market and people want to come sell their stuff or trade the stuff in my market, I will ask for the rent. You have to pay rent to be able to buy and sell here. And I think it just makes sense.
been there, done
And
that. Don't worry.
people who criticize Trump
Come back in
say he
5 years'
doing
time.
this to to hurt poor people. I don't understand the logic. If
Let's go.
let's see, maybe I'm wrong. Like the electric car manufacturing or the drone manufacturing or even some part of the car like self-driving, the high-tech stuff. If we depend on China so much, what does that make us? If it's a conflict, they have upper hand than us. You understand what I say, Pejy? We need to do all this stuff ourselves. We have to be not independent. That's just what I mean. And for people to sell their stuff to us, or for us to buy a lot of stuff for other people, they at
Hell
least supposed
no.
to pay the price to do business with us, even just a sales tax, which is a tariff. So I have full belief in Trump. It's funny. I never see myself as a Trumper, but now I am. And what he say is my sound harsh. It might sound like what the fuck. But if you actually double click and study it, it's just pure common sense. Welcome, Jen.
Hello. Hello, my dear. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. It's beautiful here in California, and I'm excited. This week there's a lot of news, and I think Peggy tried to buy a house in Toronto.
I mean,
Oh, wow. Is that
hello,
true, Pejjy?
hello, Jen. How are you? No, I'm trying to see. I mean, like, home prices here are ridiculous. But I'm trying to save up to get something, if Tesla allows me to. If if it goes down, I got to buy more stock. But you know, I'm seeing what I can do. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Either that or Texas, but I don't know. Texas is a lot of visa work. There's a lot of, I have to go there and see. I don't know. But I mean, Toronto, I mean, I'm already Canadian, right? So might as well see what's going on there, even though it's overpriced. But, it guarantees it, well, not guarantees, but it gives me more freedom. That's what I'm trying to get more
Come to
freedom.
America.
I really want
Come
to.
to America.
I really want to. But hey, if I come to, hey, here's the thing. Coming to America, I'm not gonna come to California. I'll visit it.
No, come to Texas.
Yeah,
Texas is
Texas.
awesome.
That's what I mean. I'm aiming Austin, Texas. It's looking like a place
Yeah.
to be.
Everyone's coming. Everyone's coming to Austin. You should just do it. Just do it. Listen, Toronto's crazy expensive, firstly. Secondly, your mortgage products are garbage compared to American mortgage products.
Oh, 100%.
And thirdly, yeah, you're going to make more money here just because of the exchange rate, and America's amazing. So there's my pitch.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Like I'll be coming to Texas for a week or two sometime in August. I'm thinking to come around then. Maybe we can do like a whole group meet. I mean, that'd be great if we can do a whole group meet for a week or something. We can organize.
Are you married to August to Texas in August?
I could be married to it.
Only because like I don't know if I would go to Texas in August on purpose. It's a little hot.
Yeah,
I mean, but you know what? You're in the Middle East, so you're used to it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be traveling. I'll be back in Toronto between mid-July to mid-September. So anytime between then, I can book it and come to Texas.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Okay. Oh man, and I'll probably be in upstate New York in August. Dang, but I will definitely be there in June for the unsupervised FSD launch, which I cannot wait. And guys, I have to tell you, I think that there's definitely another event coming, and I'll tell you why. Because Travis Axelrod emailed me, and he emailed me to verify my shares. And so I asked all my friends in my Tesla friends DM group and a bunch of other people that I know that are shareholders. And I even called Fa and I asked her, did you get an email from Tesla? And they were all like, no, because I think everybody else is verified. I've been having problems verifying my shares. So, and I looked, it was him. It wasn't a granny scam. I've learned my lesson. And so I did try to verify my shares and I can't. So I'm hoping that he sees my message that I sent or something, or I have to call them on Monday because I'm like, oh man, say isn't working and manual verification isn't working. But my point of my story is I'm pretty sure that new events are coming and they're getting ready for it. So on that alone, I'm holding my shares anyways, but remember, every share is a raffle ticket for these sweet events. And so I just wanted to let everyone know that's the inside scoop that I have.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do an Optimus Day or something, or another AI a day like that. Maybe it's the affordable model release days. Maybe that's the one because it is a new product. Maybe that's it. Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
There's so much coming. There's so much coming. You're right. Like there's the new car, right? Okay. So first of all, there's robo-taxi and then there's the affordable model. I don't believe they're the one and the same. And then there's the product that I really want, RoboVan, which they showcased at We Robot, but it was like a teaser. That, the cars, the Optimus robot, I think we're going to have like another update maybe for We Robot or for all the things that we saw at We Robot, because they're definitely coming. I mean, they have the prototypes. So, and then there's also, I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but Joe Tegmeyer, you guys go check out Joe Tegmeyer and you'll see a photo that I thought was fantastic. And it's the front of the Texas Gigafactory. And lo and behold, what is there where the Cybertruck used to reside? But the new Roadster. It's there, guys. It's fucking burnt orange. It's beautiful. Sorry, excuse my language. So, there's another product that's coming. And then remember, in June, we're all going to Austin. I want to see every single one of you there because I will be there. And we're going to have some barbecue and we're going to ride around in the Teslas driving themselves for our unsupervised FSD launch. There's a ton of stuff coming.
Oh, man, I wish I could come for June. But you know what? In 5 days' time, Tesla is opening in Saudi. In Riyadh, and it's only like a 6-hour drive from here. So I don't know if I should attend. I mean, you have to put an RSP for it. RRVP and then have to get the visa for it or whatever. So that's what, 5 days from now. So I don't know. I don't know if it's worth going or not.
Go, make a content out of it. I want to see what up.
And you know what? Maybe I can try out the Model Y refresh too. I can try it there. I'll look into it tonight.
Yo, I'm so jealous. So this morning, I saw 2 Model Y, the brand new Model Y. So this is how I feel. Every time I see Tesla, just a normal Tesla, the S, the X, the 3, the Y, I feel good about it. And every time I see Cybertruck, I'm like, ooh. And now I see the new Model Y, I'm like, ooh. You know, it's like I'm the owner of the company, and people buy my shit. That's
Girl,
how I feel.
Cybertruck is so dope. I mean, when we were on the beach at Boca Chica with all the Cybertrucks and we were having our little beach parties, right, at Cyber Beach, the guys all used like the power from the trucks to like grill food. And then they had cold beers and they, I don't know if you guys know this, but in the bed of the truck, there's like a little hidey hole. And what were they calling it? The Smuggler's Keep. And that's where they had all the beers and ice and everything. So you just like open up the bottom of the truck. Like you would never, I was like, what am I looking for? And so you open it up, grab a beer, and then pop, open the beer on the beer opener that's right there on the truck. I was like, my Ram 2500
Really,
has
as
none
a
of
Canadian
this.
citizen, I can
None
just
of
get a
this.
visa on arrival.
Only Tesla.
I have to check it
and
out. Let me
listen,
know.
Xander took me on the beach because like I was parked, my RV was parked on the access road because I can't take it on the beach. So sometimes one of the guys would drive me out to Cyber Beach so I didn't have to schlep all the way there. And so Xander drove me in his Cybertruck and the tide was in. So there was like no beach because there's a lot of beach erosion right now right there. And so we were driving through the water, like no problem in the like no problem. And then he did open it up on the beach once and that thing moves. Oh my God, does it move? And you don't expect it to go that fast. And it goes that fast.
Wow. I'm excited. I'm 5'1", 152 centimeter, and I want to drive Cybertruck. I want to be that a little Asian girl come out Cybertruck with a big sunglasses. That's I'm so manifesting that. All right. I want to ask Pejjy and you guys about Q1 number. All right, we're gonna start with the boring shit. Q1 number. What do you think? How do you feel? What is make you today the Q1 number? All right, Pejjy, you go.
Well, the Q1 numbers, we knew that it was going to be bad, but I did say publicly that anything below 340,000 would be yikes, and it came just right. It came, that low, but production was as high as 360. So meaning that they're ramping, right? All 4 factories right now are ramping the new Model Y, which is the best-selling car worldwide. Tesla's best-selling car. In China, it's the best-selling vehicle right now. Norway the Model Y was the best-selling car again in these months for March, and we'll see this happen across every country as Tesla starts to deliver them, especially in Europe. I say, and I know that next month, once we get the data for March and April, let's say, and we compare it to the January, February data of sales, it's going to shut those bears up because you know what they were saying? Oh, Europe sales are down negative 80%. Oh my God, Tesla's finished. Those guys are going to go crawling to they're going to crawl back to their mama's basement after we have the data come out. No, because it's true, right? It's true. So the idea of there's no demand for Tesla will go away because there's demand for it, of course. Macroeconomics, that's a whole different thing because that's going to affect everyone. But no, Q1 numbers, I mean, energy was pretty good. Energy came out, I think over 150% growth, which is insane. But yeah, I mean, I think Q1, I think is the bottom of this whole for the past, what is it, from 2021 till now, I think it's the bottom of it because I think Q2 is going to be really good, and then we're going to see more FSD revenues and profits pouring in because of China. And then Q3, Q4, we will also start to see robotaxi revenues come in because they're going to launch it, right? And I think once they approve it in FSD, supervised approved it in Europe, then that's another wave of FSD revenue and profits coming in. And then from then on, we're going to see a shift in the income of Tesla. We're going to see the energy will continue to grow, but we'll see the robotaxis and FSD start to every quarter and get it, continue to increase in revenue and profits. And Kathy Wood said it the best, that as soon as Tesla releases these robotaxis, all these Wall Street guys, they have to go back to their spreadsheets and start adding it in. The only thing is what the guidance of this is going to be. What is the growth going to be for the next few quarters? Then once we see mass scale, then that's when, things are going to get really interesting. That's when we're going to see, reflecting heavily in the EPS, when it's going to be priced into the stock, and then be priced in, and then it'll be priced in for the next 5 years based on projections and estimates. And that's, that's going to bring the stock much higher than what it is today. But I mean, Q1 numbers, we all knew it's bad. I mean, I just don't like the fact that Dan Ives coming out, saying, "Oh, fork in the road for Tesla, for Elon. He has to see what he has to." Like, come on, dude, relax. And he's saying all this while he has a price target of 550. Okay, if you really think that, bring your price target down like you usually do when you follow the stock. I mean, I don't hate the guy. I just don't like the fact that he's a stock chaser. But he's being a little doom and gloomy.
That's their job. That's their job.
Yeah, I don't like that. And he knows very well. He knows very well. But anyways, again, it doesn't matter. Yes, my estimate for this year, I thought this year they could potentially deliver 2.2 million vehicles, but that has dropped. That has changed. I think maybe the max they can do, if they push it, if they do well, and if affordable models are at max, capacity, maybe they can do 2.1. That's a maybe. So it looks like maybe 2 million they can do this year. I know Elon said 30%, but based on the Q1 numbers, I don't think they can do. I don't think they'll be able to do 30% in vehicle growth this year, especially with all the uncertainty that is going down. And that means that if they have to do 2.2, that means they have to sell north of 700,000 vehicles in Q4. I don't think that's possible for this year. Maybe it is. I don't know, but I doubt it. I doubt it. So, yeah. Overall, my thoughts, who cares about these delivery numbers when you have robotaxis and FSD, energy, and robots coming, for robotaxis mainly coming. So that's my thoughts on it. So what are your thoughts on it?
I gonna let Jen go first, and then I go. Jen, please.
Okay, well, I have to tell you, the Q1 numbers were not surprising to me. We retooled all of the Model Y lines in one quarter. Of course, we were going to make less Model Ys. And it is the best-selling Tesla. It's a very compelling vehicle because it's a beautiful Tesla that works amazing, that you can have FSD on, and it's not as expensive as the luxury models. We did see the luxury models not do as well, and I'm talking about Cybertruck, X, and S, because quite frankly, the macro environment sucks, okay? The economy is in the shitter a bit, and especially with the tariffs, which were a necessity, guys. I mean, we were getting just screwed by every country on earth for the last 80 plus years, and somebody had to stop the bleed. And it really sucks because we're in a transition time in 2025, and it's going to be a little painful. But that doesn't mean that Tesla's not a good company. If anything, it's probably one of the best companies to invest in because they're going to survive this, and a lot of companies won't. I think that 2025 is an excellent year to be buying the stock because of the macro pressures. I do agree that a lot of amazing products are coming. Are they going to come this year or into next year? I'm not really sure. But I have to tell you, none of it has to do with Elon. you know, the production numbers, that doesn't have anything to do with Elon. That has to do with us retooling lines and upgrading the Model Y, you know? And then like for sales, like guys, Teslas are premium products, you know? It's like buying an iPhone versus, you know, a cheap little pay-as-you-go flip phone or something. And so, you know, when interest rates are so high, inflation is so high at the same time, a lot of people are waiting to make those large purchases. Now, what I do have to say about that is people have been waiting for a little while, okay? And so the minute that the economic pressure is relieved, I think it's going to go like gangbusters. So that's why I think it's a good idea to accumulate the stock now. I mean, in my personal opinion, this is just my opinion. I'm just some chick on the internet. This is not financial advice. It's just what I think. That once the macro pressures release, which they will, okay, this is not going to go on forever. These kinds of things are cyclical. That you're going to be very happy if you bought Tesla while it was down. So I have told Fa I like Tesla at 250 a lot, but it's just my personal opinion. I'm really not worried about their numbers because Tesla's constantly improving. They're bringing us more and better products every year. They're producing more products every year. They're becoming more efficient and our margins are getting better. So I don't understand why anybody would be bearish on the company, but I don't always see the company and the stock as like linked up. That oftentimes they're out of sync because of market makers, the economy, et cetera, et cetera. So as I think Tesla's going to do amazing. I think we're going to have a lot of really cool stuff. But I don't see the stock price making big moves. There's a couple of things that would do it for me. When Optimus is available for retail shareholders, I think that will, or for retail, you know, I think that will be enormous. I think nothing's going to be able to hold the stock back then. It'll be very interesting to see how unsupervised FSD goes in Austin and in Texas. I think it's going to go really well. The take rate on FSD is still very low. So with unsupervised FSD being successful, which I believe it will be, I think that's the push people are going to need. Because, you know, some people are like, well, you don't get all the features if you buy it right now. Well, what happens when you do get all the features when you buy it? I think that's when we're going to see the take rate go up. I think it'll be the reason to buy a Tesla. And a less expensive car would do really well. Unfortunately, we are going to be losing the EV tax credits. So I don't know what's really going to happen with that, because then they would have to not only have a less expensive car than the 3, but you have to go $7,500 less than that because everybody's been drunk on EV credits. So I don't know, but they're still selling a lot of cars. I mean, they sold 330 something thousand cars in the last 3 months. Like, that's not something to, you know, shake your fist at, especially in this environment. This economic environment is horrific. Like, we're in it right now, so we're not really seeing all of it, but when we look back at this, we're going to see that this was a major recession, is my opinion.
Nice, thank you. We have new friend here, Barry. What do you think about Q1 number? And how do
Hello.
you take on it? Hello.
Hi, thank you for having me. To be honest with you, as Pejjy said, I'm not really interested, to be honest. Just my conviction for Tesla on the whole, like, I think it's the most innovative, and just in terms of how long I'm going to be investing for, which is, you know, decades, then I couldn't think of a better stock to pick. I really couldn't. And to be honest, if you would have told me that at this point in time that Tesla would be trading for under $240, I just would never have believed you. So I'm just really like, you know, I mean, I've been investing only for about the past six or 7 months. So just before Trump got in, so I've seen a massive 100% rise. I was thinking, oh my God, this is amazing. And then, you know, now I'm in the red, but you know, it's all good. It's a buying
Welcome to
opportunity
Tesla
for me.
stock.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, honestly, I just can't think of a better company to be invested in for the next, you know, 10, 20 years. I really can't. I love Elon, and I just love everything about Tesla. The thing is as well, how people can see or seem to think there's more downside to upside potential with this stock is just completely beyond me. I really can't understand the thinking. And I do truly believe that Tesla will be the most valuable company in the world at some point. I really truly do believe that. And I think potentially tomorrow is the new tax year in the UK. So we get our £20,000 allowance that goes in tomorrow. So I think there's going to be quite a lot of money coming in on Monday, especially me. I'm going to be buying 100 shares on Monday. So yeah, I think that could be like, potential. There's people that are waiting to have their, I think in America it's called the 401 or something. In England it's called the stock ISA. So on Monday we get 20,000 that we can invest tax free. So yeah, I'm going to buy another 100 Tesla shares and yeah, just see where we go. As I say, I'm really excited, all this. And to be honest with you, if you think about the amount of controversy that's been going on in Tesla, it can't get much worse. So, we've survived this. It's only up from here, in my opinion.
Thank you. Thank
No,
you,
thank you,
Barry.
Brendan.
So thank you, everyone. So my thought is, yeah, I don't give a shit about the Q1 number. If GM or Ford be able to do this 366,000, they would like make a parade about, they will celebrate, they will like popping champagne. But because it's Tesla, the mainstream media say, ooh, that's so bad. I don't care. Barry is here saying everything I want to say here. Thank you. He say everything I want to say. As a long-term shareholder, this is just a beginning of it. Selling car is just a beginning of it. Energy is sleeping giant. People not even talking about that. Energy is blasting in this Q1 number. I think it's the highest it's ever been. I'm not gonna quote myself on a number because I don't remember. But the other day I look, it's the highest we ever sell. So that make me happy. And I've been follow the stock since the end of 2019 until now. I just could not believe that we still in a 200, 250, not even. So my husband looked at me. He said, "Don't tell people that you be buying stock or whatever." I'm buying. So that is my story. And if you are a long-term shareholder, you must be very happy about this price. If you have some money to buy at this minute, you must be very happy. And I'm not even gonna be bold as Pejjy said, this is the bottom. I don't have the confidence. I'm not into the new that much. But I see it too. I think if you can buy it now, in 3 or 6 months, you must be very proud of yourself. You must be very happy. That's all I'm gonna say about the Q1 number. I don't care. Is let the naysayer keep saying nay, because that give me discount and I'm happy about it. So, all right. My next question to you guys is, do you think Elon leaving Doge? Because when a new came out, it's get a little boost 5%. What do you think? Okay, Jen.
Okay, so I have some information for you guys that is pertinent on this. Elon is technically like a special employee or something like that in the federal government, and there is actually a 130-day limit for that. So because of his appointment, he should actually be on time to be leaving. It all makes a lot of sense. Unfortunately, legacy media, misinformation media, they like to spin everything and act like no one knew this was going to happen. But if you know American politics, then you know there's a 130-day limit for that position. What I believe Elon was doing was he was setting up the team for Doge. one of Elon's greatest qualities, one of his best assets is his ability to make amazing teams. And that's why he can run these incredible companies. Like he runs a lot of big companies and he does them so well. They're all very successful, you know? And so I think he was getting everybody in place. He was making sure things were going the way that he wants them to go and giving directives. And now he's able to leave. I think that's fantastic. I'm sure that he'll be visiting the White House. I don't think that there was a falling out or anything. I know people want to like speculate and everything, but clearly Elon and President Trump are quite close. And they don't strike me as the type of men that make friendships and then scuttle them immediately. You know, like these are grown boys, okay? And so it's totally normal and fine that he's leaving the White House after 130 days. And I would love to see him back at Tesla, but I don't think it's necessary. The company really does run okay without him. And I actually like that he went to the White House for this time because he was gone from all of his companies, you know, in physical body. Of course, with the internet today, just as we are connected, he is connected, you know. But I think it showed that there's not really a key man risk. And I know that a couple of years ago when the stock was really hot and we were all really excited, that was the one thing people were fearful of. And I think that him going to the White House and doing this proved that that's not actually really a risk. So I think it was really positive, but I don't see any negative with him leaving the White House. And I think people should know that there is a hard stop at 130 days for the type of appointment that he had.
Yeah, but what can't they just extend it if they need to?
No, because rules, you know, there's laws and stuff. So maybe they could give him a different position. I'm not sure, but I don't think that it needs to be extended because they're just cranking now. You know, he's got the computer systems going. I mean, literally, Social Security was just a bunch of paper rotting in a basement somewhere. And we were paying people that were 300 years old. Now, I would love to meet those people because I want to be 300 years old someday, but I don't actually think that they exist. So, you know, he figured everything out and maybe he feels also like maybe I don't need to stay. I'll tell you this much. If Elon felt like he absolutely needed to stay and Trump felt like he absolutely needed to stay, I'm sure they would find a way to do it. But I don't think it's necessary. I think he did what he set out to do.
Maybe
Yeah.
he can just be the advisor. Just be behind. Just if you have question, come to me.
You know what's
Maybe.
you know what's crazy? The 130 days that's gonna end. It's ending like in June, or I think a little earlier than that. So it's all like falling on June. You know, the robo taxis, Elon now working at Doge, because you know what happened on the delivery day. The stock went up not because of delivery report. The stock went up because of the rumor going around that Trump is telling the inner circles that Elon's leaving, and then later on that came out to be false. But we already know, you know, that he will be leaving or departing from it sometime in June. And the stock went up 5%, and everyone was shocked. It was like, what? This was not a good Q1 delivery numbers, and the stock is up? What the heck? So that's interesting how everything is all falling into like June. It's going to be such a wild freaking month. I'm so excited.
It's our birthdays. It's both Elon and I's birthdays in June, so I'm very excited. And Daddy's coming home for unsupervised FSD. How would he miss it? I don't think he would miss that for the world. It's a huge achievement. So I don't know what they're going to do in Austin in June yet. I just know I'm absolutely going to be there because I feel like it's going to be epic.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Like I'm buying Tesla because I sit in a car at my friend car and I try full self driving. This is 2019. And back then it's not even good just like right now. It is you break itself in middle of the highway, you know, if you like what the fuck. But now, like I'm not even driving. And it's so good. And I have V12. I just got an upgrade yesterday too. And like it can go in a parking lot by itself. I'm not even have V13. I'm so excited. I am in Tesla. I'm buying Tesla. I'm committed to pay my class. It's like 80,000 with a full self-driving. I paid 10,000 for it because I believe in it. And now this June is gonna be like unsupervised, and I can be on my phone, and I can just like, singing my song, dancing in the car, doing weird shit. In my car, if I don't use it, if I go to Thailand, it can go be a robot taxi. It's like mind blowing. We are in Tesla community. We take it for granted, like, yeah, car driving itself. But Homa posted, I pin it on top. FSD on 3 fucking continent, baby.
Yeah.
If a CEO of other car company, like all of them, like BMW, GM, Ford, Chrysler, whatever brand it is, if they just read this one liner, they must be shitting their pants. They must be like, holy shit. This is a question that I have to keep them up at night. Dude, you guys, Tesla is driving itself in 3 continents. What are we doing? Right? And I don't know how long they're gonna pushing it. Like GM can say it all day, hey, we partner of NVIDIA, that we're gonna buy them chip. We're gonna buy the chip. But you don't have 150 super smart engineer in Palo Alto write the software for you. You don't have that. So
Girl,
Ken is
even
right.
if they had the engineers, girl, they don't have the 1 billion miles driven under driven with Teslas. Because even when you're not using FSD, like if you say you have a Tesla and you didn't buy FSD, it's still recording and it's still sending everything back to the hive, and so no other car company has that moat. No one will get over. They won't. They don't have the data set.
Right. Katie would keep saying it. Like, okay, some other car company might try to do the robo taxi. They might try to catch up. They have nothing like Tesla have. They don't have the data. Her word is go my data. Is that her word? I I love Elon. He's gonna make. I'm just gonna be so happy with my investment later. So with Barry right here, my new friend say he just invest in Tesla for how long? 6 months ago, he say, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. It's the right place to be. It's I've been in Tesla so long, and when the 2020 spike, the high 2021 high before we split, I miss that. I have so little money that back then I still diversify, and I miss that whole thing. My friend husband, the one in Seattle, he put 100K in, and it went up to 400K, and they got their down payment of their house because of that.
That's crazy.
This is why I'm like, okay, I need to double click on this. I need to study this hardcore. Tesla's not gonna get my time, my effort. I'm gonna look into what are they doing. This is, and I'm loving this community because it's a brilliant mind. A lot of smart people. They're putting the time, the effort, and then like, Pejjy, how do you feel after you talk to Herbert? Tell me the experience. Like Herbert is a ghost. He spent a lot of time study the stock. What do you feel? What do you get out of it?
Yeah, no, it was a pleasure talking to Herbert. Got some good insights, as you guys saw with the podcast with him. Yeah, no, he's been invested since like 2012 and till now. So how long is that? That's what, 13 years? That's insane. So, I've been in it since 2020 and I'm numb to it. So I can only imagine how he is. For him, it's just like, you know, it doesn't matter. But he's also been invested in other companies like, you know, Amazon and all those other big guys back in, like, you know, the .com bubble and all that other stuff. So it was a very awesome time speaking to Herbert. But one thing I'll say is that someone like Herbert, um, he continues to buy, right? He continues to buy on weakness. And because he understands that, you know, Tesla is not a car company. He understands that Tesla is, you know, his main conviction towards Tesla is um, the robots, not even the robot taxi. That's the main thing. And someone who's looking at the robots, and I think it's going to happen sooner than we think. Um, so so I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, he's looking far. He's looking far ahead, like in the next like 5-10 years. And again, he's not bothered by what's going on with the markets or anything like that. But his conviction for the bot is extremely high. My conviction is just for the robotaxis, but he's just like, the bot is nothing compared to the robotaxis. You know, if you think the bot is going to be great, so wait until the, you know, if you think the robotaxi is going to be great, the bot's going to just hit that thing out of the water. It's going to be on a whole new level. And again, it's something that I can't comprehend, right? The bot is just, you know, we're going to have robots everywhere. It's insane. And Herbert's a guy that he's spoken to
It
other.
is a privilege.
Yeah, and
Yes,
Herbert's the type of
it
guy
is a
that,
privilege.
yeah, he's spoken to 13 CEOs
13
that,
CEO
yeah,
of the bot company.
yeah,
Yes.
and him speaking to 13 of them and seeing what they're doing, he still says Tesla's in the lead. It's insane, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's I'd love to have him back on, um, or go on his channel. But yeah, he was a
This
pleasure,
is why I
to
say,
speak to.
oh, sorry. This is why I say it's privilege, because we have people like Herbert,
Yeah,
we have people like Jeff, and you know, I listened to your episode with CERN twice because I listened to it, just listen to it one time, and another time I just have to look at the screen to to look at the chart. CERN is like, whoa, and I have an idea. I know where it's going, but these people that deep dive in it, and
true.
especially CERN, I'm not bothering by the market down. I don't care. I have my goal. I have my own price target. I put about 30 hours in to study Tesla stock. I'm not bothered. I'm almost as numb as Herbert. But all this brilliant mind behind the Tesla community, it's just like you surrounding with a lot of smart people, and everybody come here to talk about one thing, is Tesla stock. So I'm excited. One day I wish I can be at a shareholder meeting and say hi to everyone in person. Jen, go ahead, please.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I hope that you get to come. Yeah, I hope you both get to come to a shareholder meeting. They're fun. They're interesting. So what I wanted to ask you, because, you know, as you guys know, I'm busy because I'm trying to sell my last house to buy the dip. Honestly, I mean, I knew this was coming because of the macro environment. And I was like,
Sell
it's
your house to
time.
Pejjy.
Huh? Oh yeah. So I'm doing the opposite of Pejjy. Well, why not? You want to live in Virginia? It's a nice house, but and so I'm actually sitting in it right now because I've been working on cleaning out the attic. My point being, though, I haven't been paying that much attention, not as much as I usually do. Because you're right, Fa. The resources that we have in the Tesla community are outstanding, and I have to tell you, a lot of those people that are super, super brilliant, like Jeff Lutz, for example. You meet them, they're the most humble, nicest people you've ever met. Like Jeff's a sweetheart. So it'd be so brilliant. So we are really blessed. But like I said, I haven't been paying as much attention, which Fa, you know, because Fa and I chat all the time. So I wanted to ask you guys, what is it looking like with the new Shanghai factory? Because I don't know if everybody knows, because it's not the most glamorous thing. But we have a new factory for Tesla Energy for the Megapack. And I have to tell you, Megapack's on back order. The demand for long duration energy storage worldwide is enormous. And I think it was brilliant that Tesla built their new factory in China, because there is a clear trade route from China to Africa specifically for energy. And so I have been banging the drum on Tesla needs to get into Africa. I think that that's the best way to do it, because the Chinese are already sending so much to Africa. But it doesn't even matter. You could have dozens of companies. The demand for long duration energy storage is like unending pretty much. And so, which explains my entire portfolio. But I'm not really sure what's going on with the Shanghai factory, because I know that they are ramping right now. Like, the factory's done and they're ramping. And from what I understand, the capacity of the Shanghai factory is double the capacity of the factory that we have in the United States. We already sell every Megapack we make. So do you guys have any updates on the Shanghai factory?
All I know is that they're at full capacity when it comes to Megapack, because they have 40 gigawatt hours. Oh, no, sorry. That's the one in Lathrop. Shanghai, they're starting to ramp up. But that's all we know. There hasn't been anything that comes out from it yet. But
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll find
they're
out.
ramping, because I want to say isn't it 40 gigawatt hours at
For now.
Lathrop?
Yeah, Lathrop is 40.
It's going to be 80 at Shanghai.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be 80 at Shanghai. Those are big numbers.
Massive. Yeah, it's massive, and we'll get an update literally in the Q1 earnings to see what's going on with energy in Shanghai. And I think what they will say in the Q1 earnings as well is, hey, new Megapack factory going to be built in Texas this date, because Elon did mention in Q4 earnings. So it's going to be very exciting.
Are we building a new?
Yeah.
Are we building a new Megapack factory in Texas?
In Texas,
third.
baby.
Yeah, that's it. It's confirmed with Elon, but not confirmed yet with Tesla. So I think they will confirm it in this earnings call. If not, when they break ground, whenever. So yeah, energy is going crazy. It's going. It's. I can't wait. I mean,
You know what else I want to say about energy? This is energy and tariffs, because I just thought of this, so I wanted to kick it to you guys. So we're basically in a trade war with China, right? The U.S. is in a trade war with China, but that means that the rest of the world is in play for both of those big countries.
Henry, you're in both
so the
places,
rest,
man.
So like what I think is going to happen is China is going to loosen. It's like trade regulations, tariffs, whatever, any friction between other countries, China's going to loosen. And you have to remember, our products that are produced in China will be subject to like China, tariffs going out of China into other countries or whatever. I think that that's going to get better for the companies out of China, because the CCP likes to just make up stuff and they'll just fund things. And so I just have a feeling that because essentially we've just entered a trade war with China, that the stuff coming out of China is going to be taxed lower to other countries, not to the US. But we're not trying to ship anything that we're making in China to the US, So I think it's actually going to be a positive for Tesla as far as margins later. And that might be a little like surprise. And especially since we will be producing twice the amount of Megapacks in Shanghai than in the United States. I don't know. I feel like the margins are going to be much higher for the China factory than for the US factory. But that's just my inkling, just my intuition on one. Did that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Shanghai, Tesla Shanghai, anything within China with Tesla always tends to surprise us in a good way. I think it was, just going back to, like, for example, the cars. I think they only had capacity of 200,000, 300,000 or something. And then now they're doing 1 million. It's crazy. Same story, probably going to happen with Megapack Shanghai. The factory is massive. I think it's triple the size of Lathrop, 2.5 or triple the size. So, 40 gigawatt hours, they got the line ready for that. And I think at the same time, they're going to make the second line for, to get the other 40 gigawatt hours or 20 gigawatt hours or however they plan to do it um, with the lines. And then we have Megapack Texas coming as well. Sheesh, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff that is going to contribute greatly to the EPS and to the bottom line. And I'm very excited. That's why I'm not panicking when the stock goes low to what it is now. I'm actually pretty happy because I get to like, I know in like
You
5 to
panic buy.
I panic buy. It's crazy. Like, when you understand the company, when you understand the company, you just want to buy more of it. Like, imagine you bought, like, I see this like how Apple was back in 2008, 2007, right? Nobody cared. And it was very volatile back then, too, Apple. Back then, you know, Apple wasn't making any money, and whatever they were selling was low margins, or they were high margin, or they were moderate margins, but they weren't selling. It was inconsistent back then, and they didn't have a moat. Then came the iPod, and then the iPhone, and then from then every single quarter was a beat in EPS. Think Nvidia today, right? And it just brought it up to what it is now. And I see this happening with Tesla when it comes to the robotaxis, their FSC, their energy. Not too much for their autos, but that's only depending on macro environment. If macro environment gets a whole lot better, then autos will do well as well. But then again, if robotaxis really go worldwide and it really becomes the next, the thing that everybody takes, then I do see that eliminating car ownership. But then, once that happens,
Will never happen.
I know we have this debate, Jen. I know we have that debate.
It's never happening. Americans love their cars.
We'll
Wait till you
see.
come to, you know what? No, it's never going to happen. Americans love their cars. They're still going to want to buy Teslas. Like when I get a Tesla, I'm not sharing it. I'm not renting it out. Like it's not happening because it's my car. But a lot of people feel like that.
How about the Cybercab?
I would get the Cybercab for myself.
Really?
I would take it over an Uber if I had to take an Uber, but I very rarely take Ubers. And then it depends on the price, because when I'm in Austin, if I want to take an Uber into the city, now mind you, I am a 10-minute drive with traffic. Okay. I'm at like, I think I'm 3 or 4 exits from where I need to go, right? And I want to say it's like a $30 or $40 Uber drive because, they have like premiums for certain times and, oh, you're going in the city, that's a premium or whatever, And so I will just drive myself because I don't want to pay $80 round trip to just go out, because then I'm spending money when I'm out too. It just seems like excessive. So it really is going to depend on the price. Now, if it's $5 or $10 to take that trip, I will get rid of a car, So I think it's going to really come down to the cost per mile for the consumer, and if there's going to be all these stupid premiums, because people want to go out at night, So it's like if you add a premium for nighttime, then it gets expensive. And then also it's like, well, how many people can afford cybercabs, stuff like that? Definitely the West. So I would say like United States, Canada, Europe, but I just don't see it happening in like most of Africa. Maybe the Middle East, maybe. I'm not really very familiar. Asia, yeah, of course, China and stuff like that. But, there's a lot of places that I think others are going to do really well. Like I said, like Tesla Energy, I think is going to do gangbusters in Africa and in India. And I don't know if you noticed, but didn't Elon go to India and talk to Modi recently? And then Lex Friedman had him on his podcast. Now, Lex and Elon are friends. Lex was in Memphis with Elon installing the hardware for XAI, and so sometimes I think that Elon's very close friends do some, soft PR, and I think that's a beautiful thing. So it's just been interesting how India's kind of been in the mix lately, and I could see definitely Tesla Energy being in India, and I know that they're opening their first sales center, I think, in India soon. So that's pretty huge, because I've said for a long time, like, Indians can't afford Teslas, but they have quite a bit of billionaires there.
A lot of rich people there too. They have a vast, very big income gap The poor is dirt poor and the rich is filthy rich. That's India. So if and they have a lot of people, and if they have billions people, right? If it's just 2 million of them can buy Tesla, that's another 2 million car we can sell. So
Well, no. I mean,
I think future is bright in India.
yeah. I think so too. But the thing is, I did a little study on this. I'm like, can India really buy Tesla vehicles? And I was looking at car sale prices, and I made a video about this on YouTube as well. But it was very interesting data. It was showing that every single year, the average selling price has been increasing like 10 to 15%. I think every 5 years it was like double or something like that. It was crazy. And they're expecting that by 2030, the average selling price per each vehicle is actually going to be in the $25,000 range, because right now it's actually in the 15,000 range. I didn't know this. And this is the average selling car in all of India. And so I'm thinking, I'm like, wait a minute. So if the average selling cost is going to be around 25,000, isn't the affordable models for Tesla going to be around the same price in about
Only if we
yeah.
make it, make it in India, because India has a 100% tariff on
Oh no, they brought
imported
that
vehicles.
they brought that down. I think they brought that down. But yes, I think the whole
No, it's
idea
still 100%.
really.
It is.
Oh my God. But I think the
Yeah.
whole idea of well, if it's still 100%, they're making a sales center, so it's definitely going to be there's still the 3 and Ys. But I do think that eventually Tesla will have a factory in
No.
India.
There's super rich people. There are some
Yeah.
super rich Indians. They're going to pay $200,000 for a Cybertruck, and they're going to love it. They're going to like put flowers on it. You know, it's just like the Chinese. They buy it. They get all the stuffed animals. They put a big bow on it. You know, they get flowers in the front and everything. I like how the other countries do what they do. It's cute, you know. And I guarantee you, the Indians, they're going to put flowers all over. I saw, was it Dr. Patel? His wife maybe decorated their Cybertruck for an Indian holiday. I thought it was amazing, you know. But the really wealthy Indians, they're going to want the status symbol. And the status symbol is a Cybertruck. It's a Model X. It's a Model S. It will help with our luxury sales, I believe.
My question to all of you, my friend, and hey, you guys in the listener, if you guys want to come talk to us, welcome, send a request. My question to all of you, this is not a near term, this is far away, longer term. Do you think the president of India, Modi, do you think he want the Tesla Giga factory in his country? Do you think he want safe street in India? Do you think he want his people, I mean India people, to have a high paid job? Do you think blah 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 Tesla factory in India are the Giga factory for the car, the factory for the robot, or even the factory for the makeup hack? Do you think he want it? Who want to say first?
Which country doesn't want it?
Bingo! Right. So
I think Modi is very pro Tesla. First of all, I think he's fantastic. I watched Lex's interview with him, and I think he's a really great leader. He clearly loves his people. And of course, he wants better for his nation. It's just that, like, not all nations are in the same place of their nationhood on their, like, nation time life, you know? Like, some areas are still growing. They're still going through an industrial revolution. I would put India in that subcategory, as they're still industrializing. So I think that they're going to be a huge consumer of not only Megapack, but also Optimus, because I said this years ago. I said this, I think, on Warren's channel, on Warren Redlick's channel, that I believe that we will repatriate manufacturing to the US with the Optimus robots and Megapack, because that is what will bring the cost of labor down. It's going to change the entire global economy, because the only reason why we farm our manufacturing out to places like China, Taiwan, Mexico, is because the labor is less expensive. I mean, it still costs the same, like building material and stuff like that, whatever, but it's the labor to build the factories, and then it's the labor to build the stuff that the factory builds. Well, when Optimus can do all of that, then the labor number is gone. And so I think everywhere you're going to see the price of labor and of building go down, and you're going to see the speed of industrialization and manufacturing go up, purely because of the Optimus robot and Megapack combo.
Right.
Oh, and solar, sorry, and solar, because you need to catch the sun and then you hold the sun. So sorry, also solar.
And what is making me super excited? Of course, I'm here all in with Tesla bot, right? I see it is how can you put the value of the unlimited labor? How, right? It's I don't even know what number it is. It's melting my brain. And
It's inconceivable. It's inconceivable, Fa.
yeah, that's translate to plain English.
Oh, that you can't even imagine. Like, it's really
Right.
hard to imagine. Like, sorry, it's inconceivable. Sorry, that's a quote from Princess Bride, guys. But yeah, like, I can't even conceive of how much. Like, when I start thinking about if I had one Optimus robot, right, just one, and then you could just upload different software products to the robot, because that's what I think is going to happen, is that you'll be able to like rent the software. So if I wanted my Optimus robot to paint the interior of my house, right? Instead of hiring a painter, I could use my hardware that I own, my Tesla Optimus, and I could rent the software for interior painting for like 1 week or something. And really it could just run all the time, like, I mean, I'm sure it's going to need like a little downtime, just like my phone. Like if I leave my phone on for an entire week and I forget to like reboot it or whatever, it'll get a little wonky and I'll be like, oh, you haven't been off an entire week. I'm so sorry, phone. So, it'll probably be like that. But honestly, it could just be on all the time. Like, think about how fast things are going to happen. Like, I will not have to go through the construction nightmare or UFA. Could you imagine if you just had somebody that was just doing it all day long and night, and like, it would happen so fast. So yeah, so I think that's what's going to happen. That's going to be really nuts when we realize the software as a service revenue. Because if you look at like Microsoft, right? Microsoft's one of the most successful tech companies in existence in history, right? And they have like Windows and Office and Teams, which sucks. But their products aren't even that great. And they don't even have that many products. But because they really effectively did software as a service, it was a hugely successful company and still is. And I think that we're going to see that times who knows with the software as a service products for Optimus. I mean, I'm literally selling another house. I already sold a couple houses and YOLO'd into Tesla stock, and I'm selling the last one and doing it because I believe in it that much. I've learned my lesson and will never touch margin again. And I encourage all of you to stay away from margin. That's my personal opinion.
100%. Pejjy, how many robots you gonna buy?
I don't know. Let's see what I can do. I mean, I have to see it first. I mean, again, the bot thing, I still can't comprehend it. I mean, I 100% can see robotaxi happening. Would I want to operate robotaxis? I don't know. I really don't know about that. I have, I want to see how that's going to go. But the robotaxi thing, I think that's going to really blow Tesla's valuation out the water. The bot, I mean, again, I have to see what it can do, what its usefulness is for. But yeah, I mean, we're talking about the robots and FSD and robo taxis, but I'm trying to get a Tesla. I'm trying to get that car. It's not available in Kuwait, but once it comes in Saudi, I mean, I know it sucks, but once it comes to
I'm
Saudi,
sorry, I laugh.
once it comes to Saudi, I think it's an easier way to transport. You buy one from Saudi and transport to Kuwait. So
Can you just buy one in sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
can you just buy one in Canada and ship it? Because
No.
shipping a car is not that expensive.
no.
Like I've shipped vehicles overseas. Why not? I've
Because
shipped
it's
vehicles overseas.
taxes.
It's not very expensive.
Taxes. I'm not going to pay Canadian taxes. You know how bad taxes are in Canada. It's ridiculous.
Well,
Really-
how much is a Tesla? And why? Well, can you buy one in the U.S.? No, then you'd have to No, you wouldn't have to expatriate fund. Okay, can you expatriate funds from Kuwait? I guess that's a good question
I'm
to
not
the United
sure.
States.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
I
I'm
don't
like,
think
just
so.
go somewhere else and buy it and ship it.
Hey,
Well, I mean,
you just
people.
moved to America.
Yeah, but no,
You
people.
just move here.
There are some people who have Teslas here in Kuwait, but they buy it from the UAE or Qatar, and then they just ship it here. But that's too far for me, and it's a lot of countries to go. To be cross border to. They have to go through Saudi, then enter, Dubai.
No, you ship it by ship. You
Oh,
ship it by ship.
I could do that.
You do freight shipping.
But no, but
Yeah.
my
No,
main.
I did it. No, listen,
Yeah,
it's
no.
not that expensive. I did it from the U.S. to Germany. It's $2,000.
Yeah, but the problem is that my only issue was that, okay, if the car breaks down, I don't want to ship it all the way back to UAE. The problem with Kuwait is that expats are not allowed to import cars. That's the bad thing about this thing. I have to do it through a third party,
Now that makes sense.
right?
Now that makes
And
sense.
now I have
yeah.
to ship it through 2-3 different countries. Oh hell no! And then there's freight insurance I have to get. That's expensive. No, but Saudi is just a land border, one border across, so I can just get it through a third party very easily, and then I can always go back and forth to to Riyadh with a visa to get the service done. That's it. That really fixes all the issues. So that's why I'm like, cool. Eventually,
Moving to Texas actually fixes all of these issues.
I know. I'll be visiting summer. I mean, let's see.
Okay, I want to ask you guys about this. So I pinned a post up here. It say, your FSD supervised in Europe pending approval.
Mhm.
You guys see this?
Yeah.
They are asking for the approval in Europe. This is another good one.
I know they're asking, Fa, but I have to tell you, it's not going to get approved. And it's not going to get approved because of the interior cabin camera, because of European privacy laws. If you look into European privacy laws, they're very strict. They're much more strict than the US. And they are like a hard no on that interior cabin camera. However, when we have unsupervised FSD, we don't need an interior camera anymore because that interior camera is to watch your eyes, make sure you're watching the road, That's why you can't tweet post when you're driving a Tesla on FSD. But that's going to end soon. So, maybe they'll get approval. I doubt it. I think it's smart, though, to apply for approval now because they'll get the no and it'll be about the interior camera. And then they'll delete the interior camera and they'll be like, okay, now what? I mean, that's just what I think. I don't know anything about that. I think that's what's going to happen.
Don't you glad you have smart friend? Jen very smart. I confirm that. One more thing I just want to share you guys. I love this podcast. It's called Moonshot.
Hmm.
And lately I listen to it before I go to sleep. And one of the episode they're talking about humanoid robot. And I don't remember who talked about it, but the guy is like in a humanoid robot. He's making one. I think it's a figure. I think he's a CEO of Flickr. His name might be Brad or Brendan or something. I don't know. So he said, we likely, this is what he said, we likely to have humanoid robot in our home within 5 to 10 years. And the guy asked him all over the world, the the moderate asked him all over the world, and he's like, I'm pretty sure in North America and in China maybe have it, but in Europe, I think we will go visit them, and we were gonna be like, oh, you guys still do dishes by your hand. How cute. Oh my God. I don't have friend in Europe. Is that true?
So think about this. So I have a lot of friends that do really well for themselves, but their wives really don't want a housekeeper, like a cleaner, or they don't want a nanny because they don't want the temptation and they don't want somebody that's like spying on them, stealing their stuff. I don't know. I've heard so many excuses from people about why they don't want like why their spouse doesn't want a housekeeper or nanny or whatever. And I understand the nanny threat. I get it. But you know what? That's all gone with an Optimus robot. Like, you own the robot. Like, it's not going to have like independent thought, hopefully, or you can like make it that way where like it can do certain functions, but it's not going to like run game on your husband to try to steal him so they can get the big house. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just saying that there's a lot of those little soft scenarios that people aren't even thinking about, that like sometimes it's not even about the expense, it's the risk of having like other humans around versus like a machine, because like nobody feels threatened by their vacuum cleaner. Nobody
Wait,
feels threatened by their washing machine.
my question is that true that in Europe they're so backward, they're so slow that they not accept the technology?
Yeah, girl, I live there. Let me explain to you Southern Germany real quick, right? It's so Catholic that everything is closed on Sundays. Everything. You can't go to the grocery store. You cannot go to the grocery store on Sunday, which actually I have to say quite nice. Wouldn't mind if we did it here, but it was a lot to adjust to. And they observe a lot of the Catholic holidays that I, as a born Catholic, did not even know really existed. The internet is much like the late 90s, and there is no Wi-Fi anywhere, or air conditioning, by the way. Like if you go to the mall in the summer, it's miserable because there's no AC in the mall in summer. And there's no Wi-Fi. It's not like you go to a Starbucks. Maybe Starbucks would have Wi-Fi, but I doubt it in a lot of Europe. That's just how they roll. Like nothing changes in Europe, And I mean, we're talking, it's the same people that shut down their nuclear factories. Like, what were you even thinking? And so, yeah, girl, yeah, Europe's cooked, man. So I hope they get, I hope they find their way because it's gotten really bad. I don't know, but they're in a recession right now. So, and they're still buying Teslas, mind you. It's like all this bad stuff for Europe. And yet the Model Y is the best selling car in Norway and many other nations. So, like I said, Tesla's going to fare probably the best out of all the companies when this all shakes out, and it won't be forever. But yeah, to answer your question about Europe, 100% girl, there ain't no Wi-Fi.
That's ridiculous.
Hello, Alex.
Hello. Luckily, I am from Europe, so I can speak for Europe here. We have Wi-Fi. I don't know where you have been. Maybe if it's like
I lived in Germany for 3 years, so that's why I'm saying that. I lived in southern Germany. I'm telling you, in southern Germany, there is no Wi-Fi when you go to like anywhere.
Germany is, I might understand, but like there's more to Europe than like southern Germany. That's just.
Where do you live in Europe?
I live in Sweden.
Oh, it's very different, I'm sure, in Sweden. I'm just talking about Germany. I mean, they were only, where do they rank on the globe and economies? Because I'm pretty sure they're pretty high up there. They're the powerhouse of Europe, by the way, for economics. And so, I mean, I don't know. They have the strongest economy in the entire EU, but they don't have Wi-Fi. That's just, I mean, I'm just speaking from my personal experience, having lived in Germany for several years.
Yeah, that might be a thing, like their culture, but like if you go to Sweden, there's Wi-Fi everywhere. Like it depends on where you are in Europe, or not. Like Southern Europe is maybe like, I don't know, different than Northern Europe. So if you go to the UK, for example, there's like, yeah, Wi-Fi everywhere. But Wi-Fi, I mean, that's one example.
Alex, I have a
cannot.
question for you.
Yeah, sure.
So you've been in Tesla community, you host the Tesla space also, and
Yes.
and you know you drive Tesla, I assume, and are you guys have full self driving or autopilot in Europe? Is
I
this
have
working?
autopilot. Autopilot
Is this working?
But they are testing, I think they're testing FSD in right now. I saw a clip from Tesla Europe, which is awesome, right? They're testing it right now, validating that it's actually working on European roads. It was like a pretty like complicated circumstances it was driving through. It was a lot of like bikes and stuff, a lot of people walking around. So I think it's doing good, at least in the Netherlands. And for the interior camera, they are allowed to use the interior camera in the Teslas, but they are not allowed maybe to like send away data, and it can't be tied to your VIN, or at least you can't be able to trace the data to a certain user. That is against the privacy laws. But the interior camera can be active and monitor the driver. That's no problem.
Yes, so I just grokked it because I wanted to know, because I was like, maybe I'm wrong. It's happened before. So I just grokked it, and it has to do with the sharing of data. So they can't ship it outside of the car, which is kind of required for FSD, you know. It is. I mean, we could do a dive on the privacy laws. I don't really have the time right now, but if you just grok it real quick, you can see that there are hurdles in Europe specifically because of the privacy laws. But, you know, the European Union might collapse, and then it'll be country to country, and that would probably be better, to tell you the truth. So because maybe they will pass it in Sweden and Norway. I mean, I think that like the Scandinavian nations are much more conscious of like environmental impact and everything, and they've really embraced electric vehicles. But there are some other countries where, yeah, they're a little backwards, you know. And it's weird to say that Germany's backwards, because in many ways they are, you know, doing quite well. But I mean, you know, I feel like Italy's the same way too, man, where there's like, there ain't no Wi-Fi, because I've traveled extensively in both, you know. But yeah, you know, I mean, I'm trying to post the grok because I have the whole thing, but I don't know how to post. I always have a problem posting from grok. So I'm going to try to capture it and send it to you guys.
I mean, Germany is like the car market there actually.
What? What the heck just happened? The heck? It just lost connection? Oh my god. Fa. Oh no, you lost connection. It happened again. Happened last week and it happened again this week. Oh my god. Oh man. Well, yeah, it's done. Oh my god. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. Well, I wasn't the host, but maybe next week I can be the host. Sheesh. But that'll do it. That'll do it for this week. Sheesh, man. I tried to make a video today, didn't happen, but I got videos for next week. So no, of course next week, but for tomorrow as well. Anyway, so it was a busy day. Thank you guys for joining. Every Saturdays we do this. So make sure you guys smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already. And I love you all. Make sure you guys tune in. Anyways, I gotta go. I love you all. Make sure you guys have an awesome weekend. And take care, guys.